Hello again, it's Heather Cameron. I'm showing you another thing that I like to cook, which is eggs. My eggs are reasonably simple, but I like to put my own special twist in them. See, we have a carton of eggs right here, and normally I do not use the yolk very often, but I don't want to waste, because wasting is very bad. So I'm going to cook you some nice eggs with some things in them that will make them taste very, very nice. Now, mind you, I can't have cheese, so it's going to be cheeseless, because eating cheese would make me very, very sick. But anyway, it's going to be a good portion of eggs. And then I'm going to take them and put them into a burrito shell, and it's going to be very nice. Anyway, what do we need? We need a cup. We need a cup for the eggs in case I get some shell. There we go. Oh man, I'm making a mess, but that doesn't matter. We'll clean up as we go along, as we did the last time I decided to show you. See, we just crack it simply and open it. Toss the shell in the trash, like so. And we're only going to use maybe 3 eggs, because 4 is a bit much. We're going to keep them in the cup. We're going to quickly check the shell. We don't have any shell, fortunately. And we just pour it in the bowl. Put the eggs away so they don't go bad. And now we add our ingredients. Oh, first we got to wash the hands so we don't cross-contaminate. Because that's also very bad. That's a big culinary no-no. Oh yes. And before we even start that, we've got to grease the pan with something. Today I'm going to try a little olive oil. I've never tried this before. I usually do butter or pan spray, but for the sake of trying to learn something new, I'm going to try this and see what happens. And now, guess we don't need the butter anymore. Now we get onto our ingredients. And you see, I've got some very nice chicken pieces left over from the chicken I was making the last time I was on camera. I'm going to chop it. I don't have a great surgeon knife, so I've just got to use this simple little knife to chop up the chicken small enough so it can go in the eggs. Into bite-sized pieces, otherwise it's going to be nasty, and there's going to be indigestion and all that nasty junk. And you may or may not have noticed I've changed into black pants and a white shirt, typically things that chefs wear. Just know this, I am by no means a professional chef, I am a home cook. Professional chefs, they've gone to school, they're like into it every single day. I've not gone to school. The closest thing I've come to culinary arts is doing a small story, spending the morning in the college kitchen, in chef whites and everything, and doing a story. And that's the closest I've come. That and being a dishwasher at Street Side Eatery for 2 months. Make sure the pieces are nice and small. And then we put them in. But honestly, I'm a great fan of MasterChef or anything like that. Maybe we can get a little more chicken in there. And you know, I really respect those home cooks, chefs, whatever. Whoever takes the time to actually use the passion that they have for making beautiful things and invest it into food. You know, so kudos to those who do that, because it's definitely not easy. Alright, that seems to be enough of that, so we'll just set that aside for now. And then we'll pop open an olive can. Because, you know, I like olives, they're good, and I'm dribbling all over the counter, but I will clean that up as soon as I drain the olive juice. Alright, so we've got some really nice black olives. We're going to wash the cutting board as well. Make sure there's no cross-contamination. And we're going to chop the olives so they're small and they fit finely into the eggs. Because, you know, I'm a fan of olives, not everybody is. And see, we've got a very nice pitted olive right there. And mind you, chopping this isn't really easy, but it's very possible. It's just you have to put some care into how you chop the olives. I mean, it is not easy, and if you do it wrong, you could slice your fingers off. There you go, just let the knife do the work. I mean, if you're on MasterChef, of course you gotta go a heck of a lot faster than this. But I'm not on MasterChef right now, for the time being. Although that might be interesting to do someday. Because apparently it's come to Canada as well, or it's coming. Might be interesting to see what I can do with that, but I've never cooked on a gas stove before, you see. So I might end up blowing the whole place up unless I were to get, unless they teach how the chefs how to do gas stoves, you know. If they did, that might prove interesting. We only need 2 olives, I think. Got to let the knife just do the work, slowly, surely. There. Oh, and I just wasted. I dropped an olive on the floor. Forgive that. Sometimes I can get a little bit clumsy. And you know what? We need some spices for these babies. There's 3 eggs. We'll have spices. Let's try a little dill weed and see where that goes. Not too much. Also, let's see. A little oregano, maybe. Whoa, that's a little too much, but you know what? We'll work with it. And you know, I don't think I have. Oh yes, I do have a whisk, but there's such a pain. So I'm going to be beating these eggs with a fork. Sort of mix all the food in there. And I hope I didn't put too much oregano in that. If I did, I'm going to have an interesting supper. You know, we might have to add an egg actually. Just because the mixture's coming about a bit thick. And we really shouldn't screw around with egg mixtures. So we'll just do that. Add another egg just to be sure that everything will be alright. Oh, there we go. There's the perfect. There. Alright, we gotta toss it in there. Maybe a tad more chicken too, just to. That actually smells pretty good. Stir it nice. Maybe a tad more chicken too, just to maybe offset. Because I'm not sure how strong oregano tastes. I don't eat it that often, but I should really start seasoning my food. Put that there for now, just to keep it out of the way. Pardon the mess. Oh heck, and I made a mistake already. I forgot to wash the cutting board after I used the olives, and that, just forgive me for that. You should always, when you're working with meats and then other substances like vegetables and such, always wash your cutting board after you're done working with meats, especially, and substances if you're going to be working with meats again. It's very, very important. And always wash your knife. or your knives so you don't cross-contaminate before food. Always, always, always strive to work in a clean kitchen. And don't be afraid of it. And see the olive oil sauteing nicely in the pan. And we should be ready to put the eggs in soon. Now, this isn't an official show by any means. This is just something for me to show what my little passions. Because I'm a writer, I'm an instrument player, I'm a volunteer. I do service work for my church. And one of my creative passions is cooking. Although I've really never shown it on camera until this year because, I don't know, I wasn't that good at it. But I've learned over time that the only way you get better at something is by practicing it and just experimenting. So that's what I'm doing with these. A little big. So we'll just toss this in, mix it in nice and... I think we're about done with the cutting board, so let's put it over here. And then mix this in. Now remember, there's not going to be any cheese added into this because it would make me very sick. I'm going to toss the pan around, make oil float around. And it's all ready for us. Excellent. I'm going to dump the batter in and turn it down a smidge. Look at how nice it's bubbling. And while we do that, we're going to do a tad bit of cleanup because messy kitchens aren't good to work in. Put this. We're going to store the olives in here for now because who knows, I might use them later for more eggs. We shall see. I'll put them in my big giant fridge. We'll throw the can away. Be careful with these. This one has like a special border, but it's so easy to slice your fingers. And we'll just put everything in the garbage, nice and neat. And we'll just clean up as we go along, because what did I tell you? Always clean up as you go along, because a clean workspace is essential to cooking, because if you're cooking in a sloppy workspace, food will turn out to be crap, most likely, and be contaminated with all the other stuff. Again, I'm not Gordon Ramsay or any of those famous chefs. Certainly not Gordon Ramsay. Although I used to cuss like a nightmare, but I don't anymore. Cussing and cooking never mix, but it seems to work for Chef Ramsay, so to each his own. You can't stop him, and I mean, he's such a good chef. You really can't fault him when somebody makes a mistake, although I do wish he'd curse less. That's enough about Gordon Ramsay. And Graham Elliott, oh my gosh, have you ever... He's another judge on MasterChef. Oh. And Joe Bastianich. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, but oh well. He's not a chef, he's a restaurant critic, I think. And he is tough, but fair. Anyway, clean kitchen, always a clean kitchen. Because if people worked like slobs, really, would food really taste as good? Bring that out, toss it back in the jar. Ooh, it's really looking nice. Oh yes. Mustn't waste food. We'll put that there and get ready to prepare our wrap. Now we need to have some ketchup in this because eggs and ketchup, they go hand in hand. But we need a plate, of course. We need to plate it very nicely. See, here's a nice clean plate. We're going to use a shell. Sadly, I don't make my own bread or anything like that because I don't know, I don't have a pasta maker or any bread maker thing or whatever. And nobody ever taught me, which is quite sad. I don't know, people assumed I was stupid, I guess. That's besides the point. Now we're just going to check on our eggs. Oh, we'll put the oregano back on the stove. Check on the egg. What we need for that is our spatula. It's still, oh, it's got a flat thing to it. It's going to probably break. Oh my. It actually didn't that time. That's fascinating. Oh, it did a little bit, but that's okay. Look at that. Look at that fascinating. Look at how good that looks. That's amazing. The oil is just doing it justice. What we're going to do is take it out pieces at a time and then put it in the wraps. I'm going to put some ketchup in the wraps for flavor. Just a little bit. And as soon as these cook, we're going to take them out one piece at a time. We'll put the plate over here. Because I'm going to see if I can actually get more than one. We'll see if that's actually a possibility. And I mean, oh my goodness, the oil, doing the sauteing in olive oil was absolutely wonderful. I mean, I've sauteed onions in butter before, margarine, and wow, look at the chemistry in that. Now again, I'm not Gordon Ramsay, I'm not a professional chef, I'm a home cook. And I'm just showing you some of the things I do that you might want to try or learn from or send me suggestions. It's all about, it's a learning process with us home cooks, right? Not quite done, almost. But honestly, since I live alone, I usually will cook a great big meal for myself and then portion it. And today's in a good meal. A great big meal can last me maybe a week and a half. But let's just see what we get. Yes. All right. Ooh, that looks really good. We'll just put a little bit in here. Bring it over here so that you can see what I'm doing. I'm wrapping it, hoping this works. See, we're wrapping it up into a shell. I'm going to do that to it. We need another shell, it seems. I may just leave some eggs on the side because it's very difficult to make a ton of egg wraps. And of course with eggs, you really can't save them in the fridge, can you? Of course, a little ketchup on the side. It's really very important that you treat the food with care, treat it with respect. Oh gosh, I could not be more proud of these eggs. Alright, done, and we'll let those simmer for a bit. I might have cooked too many, because 4 is really quite a lot. I usually do 1 or 2. But I just wanted to show, do this so everybody can see it. Tuck that in nicely. Tuck that in. See, look at that. That's very lovely. And as for the rest of the eggs, I might just put them on the plate because there's a lot. And I'm not going to make 30 egg wraps. Put some ketchup and salsa over them, they'll be a nice treat. You know, if the right things go into them, eggs and salsa can make quite a lovely meal. And there you have it, and we clean up again. We clean up. Sprinkle some bubbles everywhere and fill up. We don't clean up everything. We don't do the dishes right now because the dishes we use need time to cool. And of course we've got to clean up our workstation as well. Now I'm assuming you'd like me to put some salsa on the eggs. And I think I will because, you know, salsa really does have very much, it's good for the heart, first of all. It's good for the heart and it's mild. Normally I'm sure people would put cheese sauce on their eggs. But guess what? Again, I can't have cheese. It'll make me go short of breath, possibly fall asleep. So we're just going to dip some yummy salsa. That was a bit much, but I can spread it. A bit much. It's okay. We'll get a fork and spread that. So we don't waste, because waste is abhorrent. Waste is abhorrent and we shouldn't ever waste. Oh, actually, alright. And we lightly douse. In case it's really hot, so we've got to use a good amount of ketchup on both the wraps. Alright. And this is our eggs and our egg wraps. See, look how easy that was. It's a bit sloppy. I could do better on the plating, but it's really good. It's really good. I highly encourage you to try making this and try it and just don't be afraid to experiment. Anyway, I'm going to sign off now so I can go eat this and continue cleaning up. And I thank you for coming along with me on this evening's cooking journey. Good night.